Hey guys, for discount off of top quality football merchandise from Kitbag, please use our code and link in the description below, just for being a Blues Fans TV subscriber and an awesome Chelsea fan.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Blues Fans TV. Welcome back to another video for you guys today, and we are here to preview our predicted 11 for the first game back after the international break, because we totally didn't play on the weekend. Nothing happened. Before we go into this video, we are going to address some of the news that's been coming out of Cobham over the last few days. There's been a few disputes between Rudiger and Kepa. There was one between Arrizabalaga and Reece James, and we are going to address that for a short while before we go into the predicted 11. But before we start this video, if you guys haven't done so already, please smash the like and subscribe button and hit the bell notification button too if you guys haven't done so already, because I know for a lot of you guys our notifications aren't popping up. So please smash the bell notification if you guys haven't done so already, and make sure you're the first to know whenever any new news comes out regarding Chelsea or whenever we release any new videos as well. As usual, we got Kwaku here. Hope you're alright, my guy.
I'm alright, man. I'm alright. Like I say, recovering from the weekend, but looking forward to the Porto game.
Exactly, and before we go into the Porto game, we are going to discuss some of the news that's come out around Cobham. We have said that there was a big dispute between Rudiger and Kepa that happened in one of the small-sided games, as well as a dispute between Arrizabalaga and Reece James has been reported by Matt Law and a couple of other journalists as well. But we are going to talk about it because it's not that deep. Because really and truly, it just really isn't that deep. Okay, they had a fight in training. I'd rather it happen in training as compared to either on the pitch or something that happens off the pitch. Like, if this happens a small-sided training game in Cobham, that's where you want these sorts of disputes. And for me, if they're even at each other's necks like this after the first defeat in 3 months, that's saying something about our mentality. And to be honest, our mentality has been questioned as well, because I'm looking at Chelsea the last few years. We don't really lose games like that, but we've been losing games by 3 goals, 4 goals, 6 goals even. It's happened at one point. And that's never happened in the Chelsea era. Like, when we lost 4-0 to Bournemouth, that was the first time we conceded 4 goals since 1996. So there has been quiet questions about our mentality. But if this is how angry players are coming out of a loss, and these are 2 bench players who are beefing each other, and 2 of the right backs as well, beefing each other as well, I kind of like that they're trying to get the best out of each other. Yeah, man, the story's much to do about nothing. It's not coincidental that when Chelsea lose and everybody kind of pointed fingers and the Wolves are out, then that story comes out. And obviously it's as a result of us losing that game to West Brom 5-2. But again, it's much to do about nothing. It's the kind of thing that you'd like to see. People holding each other accountable for mistakes that have been made. And like you say, I prefer to see it on the training ground than see it on a match day. And it's much to do about nothing. We know that, like you say, Kepa's not seen the first team really. Rudiger, we know what kind of personality he's got, but by all accounts, he's a great person in the dressing room. If you ask Callum Hudson-Odoi, if you ask Tammy Abraham, he's someone who's been a mentor to a lot of our younger players. And Arrizabalaga and Reece James thing, again, Arrizabalaga is the prime leader, an example of what you want a leader to be. And Reece James is a young player. Again, it could be something to do with the game, it could be something to do with something else, but it's much to do about nothing, man. So it's a non-story in my opinion, and it's people just trying to create a story because Chelsea lost 5-2 to West Brom. Exactly. I feel like people are just trying to stir the pot because we haven't really had a lot of negativity to talk about at Chelsea for a while, and after a result like that, I completely understand everything going out the window. But really and truly, if anyone's looking too deeply into this sort of story, please don't. It really isn't anything. Like, I prefer to see this because at least they're angry about the result. If they did nothing about it, I'd be questioning their mentality a bit more. And to be honest, I feel like these sort of things happen a lot often than we even realise. It doesn't get mentioned. And this is one time where it has got mentioned. That does raise questions about how it got mentioned as well. But fact is, absolute non-story. Apparently Rudiger and Kepa made up immediately after. I expect Reece James and Arrizabalaga made up immediately after that as well. So we don't need to talk about it too much. Let's just go straight into the predicted 11. Right, so going into our predicted 11 for Chelsea versus Porto, really and truly we can just skip the goalkeeper outright. Right? Yeah. Well, the thing is, people have been questioning Mendy, obviously after that 5-2 loss to West Brom. I know I've mentioned it so many times, but people question it. I don't really see him being at fault for any of those goals. So yeah, keeper, we all know it's going to be Mendy. He's been great this season. He had one game where he conceded 5 goals, but I feel like it's going to be him and goal against Porto. Yeah, 20 plus clean sheets for the season in all competitions, potentially one of our players this season. Wasn't to blame for that game against West Brom in any way, shape or form. So yeah, Edouard Mendy goes into the team. Back 3 now. Does Thiago Silva start? Because we could say he looked a bit rusty in that game. He won't be fit for the game against Crystal Palace, but with that in mind, it makes more sense to throw him into this game. And also, if we do that, that's also making him a bit more match sharp as well. Do you risk that in a game like Porto, our biggest Champions League match since 2014?
I'm not too sure. I'm kind of torn because Thiago Silva's been one of my favourite Chelsea players this season. He's been kind of like supreme. He's been imperious at the back. His ability on the ball, his ability to lead. But that game kind of worried me a little bit, and I feel like maybe I'm being a prisoner of the moment. But I think I would go with Andreas Christensen in that game. I just feel like he's been in decent form. By all accounts, the Denmark team are actually looking like a decent team. He looks, and Christensen, for all the criticism that he's got, he's looked really, really good since Tuchel's come in. So I wouldn't want to rock the boat too much. We saw Silva make some errors against West Brom. So I'll bring in Andreas Christensen to play at the heart of the back three.
Yeah, I kind of understand that as well, because one of the things with your back three or your defensive shape is that you don't want to change it too much, and I feel like the West Brom game was just another ugly example of it. We criticised Lampard when he was at Chelsea because he changed the back four numerous amount of times and they never really got any chemistry together. So I feel like for this game, I'd rather go for the same back three that we had the first leg against Atletico, Aspi, Rudiger and Andreas Christensen in the middle. We in agreement on that?
Yeah, in agreement. It'll be interesting to see what happens with this Rudiger business, because like I say, I think it's a match to do about nothing. I would personally bring him in instead of Kurt Zuma, but yeah, that back three that we started against Atletico, I think should be the back three that starts against Porto for sure.
Yeah, and moving on to the wing backs now, I feel it's a case of preference whether you go for Hudson-Odoi or you're going for Reece James. I feel like just for a bit more defensive solidity, I would rather we go for a Reece James. But what do you think?
It's a tough one. Ideally, I would actually prefer to go with Callum in this game, but I feel like Tuchel is going to go with Reece James. No one had a great game against West Brom, but I feel like Reece James, like you say, brings that defensive solidity that you need in a game against the opposition that we saw test Juventus quite a lot. So I feel like Tuchel's going to go kind of safe in this one and play Reece James, but I would like to see Callum Hudson-Odoi get a run out in this one. He'd be able to offer more going forward than Reece James, and I feel like Callum's due a Champions League big performance, which could be against Porto.
Understandable. I don't know, because I could go with either of them, really and truly. It's just, I don't want to underestimate Porto enough. I can see us playing Callum Hudson-Odoi against low blocks when it's a team like a Burnley or it's a team like a Sheffield United. When it's this sort of game against Porto, quarterfinals of the Champions League, I just think we got to be more defensively minded first. Although with that in mind, we are also the away team for this game, so we also want to go there and get the away goal. So I'll say we'll leave that to you in the comment section. Any disputes we have, we're just going to leave it to the comment section. Otherwise, we're going to be round in circles for the longest. So, Callum Hudson-Odoi, Reece James, let us know your thoughts. Left back, I feel like we're in a bit more agreement over this. I need to see Ben Chilwell in this game. 100%.
I feel like Marcus Alonso has his time in the sun. He's a player that I've openly criticised multiple times, but he has come good, so I have to give him credit for coming good. But I feel like in this game, it's a perfect time to assimilate Ben Chilwell into this Chelsea team. Regardless if it's a back three, back four, I think Ben Chilwell can do that job. So personally, I'll play Ben Chilwell in this game for sure.
Easy to agree with. Perfect. We can move on to that. Ben Chilwell starts at left wing back. In midfield, yes, Jovic had an absolute stinker in the last game, but I feel like that's also been the only game that they've had a stinker in since Frank Lampard played. I know we had our issues with them under the 4-2-3-1, but since Tuchel's come in, they've been revitalised. So for me, I wouldn't even look too much into the West Brom game when it comes to the pair of them. Also, with Porto looking very much like they're going to be the defensive team in this game, it's going to give them the space to operate and do what they need to do, which is why I feel like we should be going for Jovic in this match. I feel like we need their telepathic understanding of each other. And also, with a game like that, and also the reception I'm seeing from the Chelsea players of all the arguments between the players that has happened in Cobham, I feel like this is the perfect game to put them in and to have them silence a few critics as well.
I'm in complete agreement. Depends on the fitness of N'Golo Kante, but I think, yeah, go with Jovic in this game. So just because they've got a lot to prove. They were poor. That was probably the poorest part of our team, the centre midfield against West Brom. So they've got a lot to prove. The team talks easy for Thomas Tuchel. Just go out there and show that you're not dickheads. So go out. I feel like Jovic will be the kind of best pairing to go with. But again, we don't know. N'Golo Kante might get a run out. So I'm going with Jovic, but again, I'll be confident with either kind of duo that we go in centre midfield.
Okay, cool. Another agreement. Easy. This one, though, like, if we agree on this, I'll be gassed about, because the front three could really and truly be anything. I personally would go for the one that we saw against Everton with Kai Havertz in the middle, Timo Werner on the left. No, Callum Hudson-Odoi on the left, Timo Werner on the right, with the pair of them interchanging. I feel like that's the most fluid front three we've seen under Thomas Tuchel. Kai Havertz is probably the player I'm the most confident with in the middle. Obviously, Timo Werner needs to finish, and we've been round and round in circles about this for ages, but we've always said the difference between a Werner and a Morata is their all-round game, and Timo Werner offers a lot more in terms of his off-the-ball movement, his link-up play. Yeah, his first touch is good when he's confident, but we've seen what a confident Timo Werner is like. And the difference is his work rate and his ethic. The guy does not stop. Even if he starts missing shots left, right and centre, he offers more all round. So I still feel like there's a role that he can give in the team. Callum Hudson-Odoi, again, absolutely revitalised under Thomas Tuchel and is finally getting the game time that he deserved under Frank Lampard as well. He had an amazing game against Atletico Madrid when we played him in the first leg. I'd drop him in this game as well. Same front three for you, or do you want to see someone different?
We've got completely different front threes. I would like to see... I think Timo Werner needs to start. He offers so much, and everyone knows about his struggles in front of goal, but he offers so much in terms of creating space for the other players in our team. I would like to see the physicality of Olivier Giroud down the middle. I think Pepe, we saw in the last tie when Porto played against Juve, that he's still got a bit in his locker, and he physically dominated the front line of Juventus. And I feel like Giroud has the capability to kind of turn up in games like this. And we've seen Olivier Giroud in the Champions League this season. I would like to see him in this game against Porto. And then I'd like to see Hakim Ziyech play as well. We obviously saw him not throw a strop, but no one likes to be taken off in the first half. Obviously, it wasn't his fault, but we had to kind of change around our team because of the Thiago Silva red card. So I feel, again, the team talk's going to be easy for Hakim Ziyech. He's going to be intrinsically motivated to show that you're not taking me off in the first half again. So my front three would be Olivier Giroud, Hakim Ziyech, and Timo Werner.
I can't lie, you have completely turned my thought process around in the middle, because you're right when you talk about motivation. And Giroud already has 5 goals in the Champions League, so he's going to be looking at that Champions League top goal scorer award. In fact, he's already got Europa as well. Like, it'd be a big thing for him to get top goal scorer in both competitions. So I'd like to work on that, because I think he'd be more motivated for this game as well as a result. So yeah, I'd want Olivier Giroud in the middle. I still want to see Kai Havertz and Timo Werner, because Hakim Ziyech for me, Sammy, you waste that. Hakim Ziyech for me, like, just based on the way he's playing, I can't justify him starting this sort of game. And I get for motivation purposes as well, you want to see him go in there and try and prove people wrong, but I feel like he's had so many opportunities to do that and he hasn't done it. I can't risk it at a game of this magnitude. But I agree with Olivier Giroud starting in the middle, and that's a very good shout as well. But guys, let us know your thoughts and predictions about what your starting 11 is going to be. I'd say we go for a score prediction, but we jinxed that last time, so we're really just going to leave it. But let us know your score predictions down in the comment section below. Let us know whether you think this is going to be a straightforward game or you think we shouldn't underestimate them either. Smash the like and subscribe button. Press the bell notification button as well and get yourself that hat trick of everything, I guess. But smash the like and subscribe button. We'll be back on Wednesday for the live reactions, a watch along, the phone in, everything, and let's just hope we're in a better mood than Saturday.
Hey guys, for discount off of top quality football merchandise from Kitbag, please use our code and link in the description below, just for being a Blues Fans TV subscriber and an awesome Chelsea fan.